Now in heredity and evolution, heredity or inheritance means transmission of characters, transmission of characters from one generation to another generation or from parents to offspring is called heredity. Means we know very well we got our character from our parents, father and mother, and we will transfer our character to our new generation. So this transmission of character from generation to generation, one generation to another generation is called heredity or inheritance. First of all, the concept of heredity was given by Mendel, so he is known as father of genetics. These are including the branch of genetics, father of genetics. Gregor John Mendel. Mendel is known as the father of genetics. Father of experimental genetics. That is Thomas Hunt Morgan. Here we study about Mendel's contribution. First of all, we have to know about some terms which are including in this topic. Important terms. I mentioned it here. Important terms. First term, alleles. Alleles are the individual of a chromosomal character or form of gene. First of all, we define gene. After that, we define allele. Gene. Functional unit of inheritance. Functional unit of inheritance. What's the meaning of this? That's the functional unit of inheritance. Means there is DNA sequence, and we know very well in a whole DNA sequence only a particular part of DNA is functional. We are just saying that these parts are functional for a particular character. These parts are functional for a particular character which are highlighted here. So these functional part of DNA are called gene. A functional unit of inheritance or functional unit of DNA is called gene here. First of all, term gene was given by Johanson. First of all, this term was given by Johnson, and gene was called as factors by Mendel. Mendel just saying that these are the some factors which are transmitted from one to another generation. So these are called as factors in term of Mendel. Now in case of alleles, if we are just saying that for a particular character, there's a for a character of tall, we use a tall, capital T or capital T small t. These are the genes. Means character is gene. Genetic character is tall or a dwarf, and we represent tall character with a capital T. But in case of alleles, capital T and a small t, both are alleles. Means form of gene capital T and a small t, or capital T or capital T small t. These are the form of gene, and this capital represent the dominant character, and this represents small t recessive character or dwarf is small character here. Now the next term is homozygous. Homo means similar and zygous means characters or gametes. Homozygous represent similar alleles. We just simply form, we can say similar alleles means capital T and a small t. In this case, it is called dominant. Capital T is a dominant character, and a dominant homozygous, and small t is a recessive homozygous. Next is heterozygous. Both alleles are different. Means capital T and a small t. It's a case of heterozygous condition. Next is phenotypic character or phenotype. Means external appearance. We are just saying that they are the dominant character and a recessive character. Means a tall and a dwarf. The tall character is In case of capital T, the character is tall. So here tall is a phenotypic ratio or phenotype. Small t are genotype. So the next term is genotype. Means genetic makeup. Is called genotype. Next term we used here filial. Filial means generation. For example, we used here F1 like or F2 like means first filial or second filial. Or we can say here generation means next generation. Mendel's contribution. Experiment on pea plant, and the P is garden pea. I mention it here, garden pea, and the scientific name of garden pea is Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum. Experimental year it was written as 6 or 7 years in a different books. Mendel used 7 characters. Of pea plant. Pisum sativum used by Mendel. 7 characters of pea plant. And these 7, you have to learn all of these 7 characters of a pea plant. Characters, dominant, recessive. First character, height of plant. Second character, height of plant. Plant should be a tall and a dwarf. मीन्स वो लंबा भी होगा और छोटा भी हो सकता है प्लांट. फ्लावर पोजीशन, फूल कहां पर होंगे. एक्सियल terminal means bacha if a plant is like that, so these positions are the axial positions And these position where I mentioned T is called terminal positions, means किनारों की तरफ. Third flower color, it should be purple or white. Fourth, pod shape. Pod means where or in which seeds are located. It should be contractile or inflated. Guys, inflated means and seeds are located inside it. And a contractile means just to be like that. Now seeds are inside it. Fifth is pod shape, pod color. Pod color, green or yellow. Seed shape, round, wrinkled. Round means it's correctly rounded, and wrinkled means it is look be like that. It's not a perfect rounded shape. Seed color, yellow and green. Yellow and green color of seed here. Mendel's crosses. First, or we are known as Mendelian law or Mendel's law. First, law of dominance or law of recessiveness. Second is law of segregation or purity of gametes. Third one, law of independent assortment. We are just go through with the first law, law of dominance. In monohybrid cross F1 generation heterozygous condition, or we can say easily in a heterozygous condition which allele express itself in the presence of another allele is called dominant allele, and which allele is not express itself in the presence of another allele is called recessive allele. Is it clear? Now, the cross. For example, plant height. It should be a tall. It should be a dwarf. Parents. Capital T, capital T, small t, small t. Gametes. We mark gametes in a circle. F1 generation. Capital T, small t. Here, due to capital T is a dominant character, so it's a all generation are tall. Just see here, law of dominance. What we have to do in a monohybrid cross, only one character we studied here, and the character is plant height. Only one character we studied. F1 generation, F1 generation. Heterozygous condition means both alleles are different. Which allele express itself is called dominant. The tall character is due to capital T. So here capital T is dominant allele, small t is recessive allele.